Left of the box. The inflammatory right-wing activist behind the Libs of TikTok has been appointed for a key position at the Oklahoma Department of Education.
Phenomenal.
Uh,
Phenomenal.
let's go to the HuffPost piece here. So, top GOP school official appoints woman behind Libs of TikTok to key position. Uh, Yeah, Chaya Rychek runs Libs of TikTok, a popular account on X, formerly Twitter. They're still always having to do that, formerly Twitter.
Yep,
Just
that's the current style guidelines
mhm.
because of course the name that Elon Musk changed it to doesn't have any sort of brand recognition because he's a genius businessman.
Ah, yes. Where she posts videos about LGBTQ plus educators, often smearing them as groomers or indoctrinators. Oh, Rayyvana, did you know here in Canada we actually get protections? You can't harass individuals and calling them a groomer. It's actually
Right.
illegal. We
It
have
should be
language laws.
I think so many Americans have a hard time wrapping their minds around that, but,
Mhm,
like, I follow a lot of international news, but I'm also a big soccer fan, and, there's been a lot of instances where coaches were arrested and sent to jail for using, like, racial slurs
mhm,
against their players, and that's something that I think a lot of people in the United States, it's like, that couldn't happen here. I mean,
mhm.
it legally couldn't happen here, despite the fact that it should.
Yeah.
I think that it's
No.
something I would love to put into practice here,
Mhm,
to get those protections for people. I would love for the term, groomer when weaponized against, an
mhm,
LGBTQ plus individual, when it obviously is being used as a slur,
mhm,
that people could be protected from that, that these people wouldn't be acting with impunity, levying that accusation. Just
mhm.
the amount of times I've been called a groomer in the past several years,
Yeah,
it's
like
exhausting.
it's not as simple as somebody in my comment section calling me a groomer. But like the example that went to the courts recently was an online personality targeting a story time drag queen hour type thing and calling them
Mhm.
groomers and stuff and bringing negative attention to them and like all this sort of stuff that was actually putting
Right.
them in danger and stuff. So they're allowed to sue this guy for calling them a groomer because it is just the connotation behind it, what you're trying to say, and it's not in the public interest.
Right.
So if there's a politician, I can say things about them because it might be in the public interest to talk about this person for this reason or whatever. As long as I don't go and make like accusations that are totally unfounded and stuff and like it's okay to be okay like careful with your language because it is sometimes as simple as saying in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a kitty cat. So cute. Anyway, back to the horrible news. Yeah, so Walters claimed that Rychek, who lives in California, finally she's
I love that
where
they included that. I love that
hmm
they included that little line.
So let's see. So she's the top school official. Oklahoma has appointed somebody who lives in California is a valuable asset to Oklahoma schools because she knows all about Oklahoma. Chaya is
Right.
on the front line showing the world exactly what the radical left is all about. Lowering standards, porn in schools, and pushing woke indoctrination on our kids. Walters, the state superintendent of schools, said in a press release Tuesday, because of her work, families across the country know just what is going on in schools around the country.
That is one way. That is one way that you could represent what she does. This woman who,
Mm-hmm.
she was educated in a cult that doesn't value educated women. I don't think that she has any advanced degree. Not that everybody needs one, but maybe the person in this position should have a background in library
Mm-hmm.
science or working in a library at all.
Does she
May
even
even
have?
as a page.
Yeah. Does she even have children?
No, no. She's unmarried, she has no children, and yeah, just I think she's, like, my age too. She's not like, I Sorry, this woman is just not in any universe
Mhm.
qualified for this job, but of course that would be why she would get it in Oklahoma, a state that currently has a huge teacher crisis, a
Mhm.
huge school staffing crisis, a substitute crisis. that People have been trying to raise awareness of instead of like doing anything in the way of solving those issues. Let's put a woman who doesn't live here and will never be here
Yeah.
on our an important position in our Department of Education.
Yeah, it is just ridiculous that it's more like a publicity stunt that they're doing this than anything else. Because yeah, her unique perspective is invaluable as part of the plan to make Oklahoma schools safer for kids and friendly to parents, but we all know this type of thing does not make things safer for kids. It's the
Right.
exact opposite, if anything else. Uh,
Exactly. I mean, have some Oklahoma schools that just this year alone, because of things that she reported on, were closed for weeks because of constant bomb threats. Her
yeah.
coverage of your misrepresentation of what was happening in specifically in Oklahoma schools
Mhm.
caused those students to be without any sort of education for weeks.
Yeah. So Tulsa School District bombarded with bomb threats after right-wing influencer post. And this was back in August of 2023. Yeah, so Oklahoma named terrorist Chai Raitek to their library media advisory board after she incited weeks-long bomb threat campaign against school library there.
That's
It's just,
great. That's
yeah.
great. Give that woman a position of authority.
That's
And
exactly, you know what? I want a job somewhere, so I'm going to unleash bomb threats.
yeah, right. That's my
That's
I'm
that's
not gonna
not
submit
the
my
way that I
cover
apply
letter.
for jobs.
No cover letter, no resume,
Just
no
bomb
CV,
threats.
just bomb threat.
Everyone go and bomb this place. I really want to work there.
Right.
I'm like this is the thing. I don't even want to joke about like there's a place I would love to work at. I don't even want to joke about it. Like the specific place, like haha, yeah, joke that bomb threats to get me the job, but I won't even name the place that I actually want to work at because it's like it's ridiculous that
Yeah.
anyone could do that. Um the war on books is part of the right's larger fight against public schools, its effort to keep libraries from providing books to children and students featuring LGBTQ plus themes and progressive concepts. Like, people, like, I'm so worried about your election coming up with Project 2024 because this has an impact up here.
Yeah.
Because we've had provinces now um, make rulings because they control education and stuff, saying that teachers must misgender students if their students are unable to get parental consent. Even
Mhm.
though that goes against our Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and some of the provinces have been sued for it. In Saskatchewan, the premier there, who is responsible for the death of somebody in a car accident a long, long time ago, and has never really taken full accountability for it. Um, he actually ended up passing the notwithstanding clause to go against this. So basically, the province was sued because
Mhm.
this is goes against the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. But there's this funny little thing that we have called the notwithstanding clause that allows the province to say, yeah, I understand we're doing this and it's against your rights as a Canadian, but we don't care.
Oh,
And it
cool.
overrules it.
Awesome.
Uh-huh. For like it's like an overruling of like 5 years or something, like a set amount of time or whatever. And it's like to and the thing is that this is only ever brought out for things like we want to end this strike, even though we know the government passing legislation to end this strike is unconstitutional for us. We're going to do it
Mhm.
anyway. And then when they get pushback, nope, notwithstanding clause, you plebs get back to work. Like it's just and then the other one is like, no, no, we want children to be in dangerous situations. Because I've gone over it plenty of times on my channel. You can look for the videos on it. It does make this more dangerous for children because it's like, if they're
Yeah.
not telling their parents at home, there's a reason.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then there was this other Twitter account, Matt, just saying, mind you, she's from New York and lives in California.
Uniquely qualified for the position.
Yeah. Oklahoma's culture war obsessed superintendent has appointed professional harasser. That's quite the job title. Chaya Rychak of the accounts of Libs at TikTok's his State Department of Education Media Advisory Committee. Like it just did she even apply for like it's just how did this even happen?
Right. I mean, and it's so disappointing. Like, again, Oklahoma is a state that has an education
Mm.
crisis. It has, amongst the states, a very poor rate of literacy. It has a very poor uh, education system in general. And to see these individuals get in these positions of power, and then instead of addressing the root causes of these issues and the underfunding of their school districts, to try to make headlines by appointing fucking libs of TikTok to their like library commission.
And yet it's the people who, speak out against the atrocities in Palestine and, other people that say you're not allowed to call people groomers and stuff. They're the ones that end up losing their jobs.
Yeah,
Who can't
right.
get jobs then.
Hmm.
Because, like,
Yeah,
with all of my political commentary, the reality of me getting a normal job again,
yeah.
it's not happening. But to think that somebody like her, after, like, there's just been case after case of, like, places having to be shut down, people's lives put in danger, individuals specifically lied about and targeted, and yet she gets rewarded with a job.
It's just astounding. Like, people literally have written, I mean, there's a couple articles about what happens after you, and Media Matters has done a really good job at covering, the ramifications of her supposed reporting. And she always says, "I'm
Mhm.
I'm just posting them back at them with no commentary," but she will remove any sort of context to a video and then call that person a groomer and give the name of the school they work at and their full name, and sometimes their address, so that that person has to not just lose their job and be the victim of a harassment campaign, but move,
Mhm.
relocate houses.
Yeah. No, it's just like the amount of celebrity she's getting for being such an unspectacular person. Like she is just so on herself. Like if she just had to go by merit and stuff, she is so uninteresting, uncharismatic, not the brightest. Like she's a nobody and she just found this niche that gives her all of this attention, all of this fame, and it's the right rewarding, the horrible people.